Good morning and welcome to Today in LA. I'm Mike Amos, hoping that you're doing well around the world today on Facebook. And of course, we want to say hello to all you folks in Hong Kong and in Germany and in France and in England and in Australia. Around the world, you can watch us right here every day on Facebook. And we appreciate Steve Kemp and all the great people that have provided all these great things for our little TV show that started back in 1998 and has been going strong ever since. And of course, it all got started when Harold Freeman decided he wanted to start covering local events on cable television, and that started back in the mid 80s with high school football games and with proms and with theater productions and parades, and where of course it got to the point where the motto right here at Troy Cable was where Pike County watches itself. Bogey Vision, you remember that? And of course it's going strong today thanks to people like Steve Kemp and of course the vision of Harold Freeman, and we're so proud of what we've been able to accomplish over the last 20 years, and of course we couldn't do it without great sponsors. And when you watch and look at our sponsors on the screen, they're sponsors that have been with us. They've been steady sponsors. They've been people that have showed us support for local television, not for me, but for local television to try to get the word out. Well, the word that we're getting out this morning is Troy wins, Troy wins. The Charles Henderson High School Trojans of Troy knocked off four-time state champion Winona of Birmingham, and they'll play for the state championship this Saturday morning at 9 o'clock from the Birmingham Jefferson County Civic Center in downtown Birmingham. A great effort by a lot of outstanding young ladies proved to be winners, and of course it took a fabulous defensive effort by the coach's daughter, and as she intercepted a pass by trailing by 1 point with 25 seconds left. She recovered a loose ball and stole the ball away from a Winona player and was fouled immediately. The Trojans trailed by one with 25 seconds remaining, and the Dragons with possession. Jones, of course, the daughter of the head coach, stole a pass and was immediately sent to the free throw line, where the sophomore, and we've talked about this on this show, that she might be the best free throw shooter in town, and that even includes the guys at the university. She stole it and hit two clutch free throws to give the Trojans a 54-53 lead. I was just trying to tell Naira, and that's Naira Jones, to relax. And of course, Denise, her mom, the head basketball coach at Charles Henderson for the last 20 years, just told her to relax, and I knew I had to knock it down, Naira said, and I reckon she felt a lot of pressure because it did put the Trojans up to stay at 54-53. After they made free throws, the Dragons stepped on the baseline trying to get the ball in, giving the ball back to the Trojans. Davenport was fouled and made both free throws to clinch the win for the Trojans. And of course, Mari had a fabulous game and to lead the Trojans to a victory. And the Trojans will try to reset themselves for the championship game against the winner of the Scottsboro and Central of Tuscaloosa game. And that game, as we mentioned, will be at 9 o'clock this Saturday morning. I have to remind them that that we've got a championship game because they put so much emphasis on beating this great Winona team who had won four straight state titles under a legendary coach, and two of them of their victories were over Charles Henderson last year in the championship game, and then the year before in the semifinals. And they had to find a way to beat Winona. Now they've got to find a way to get back on their feet and beat Scottsboro, the winner of the Scottsboro Central Tuscaloosa. We'll be able to give you that information in just a few minutes. Of course, we're proud of this group of young ladies, and of course, we're always talking about the big three, and that Jones, Davenport, and Siler. But maybe the biggest basket might belong to Baker. Baker banged one off the glass down the stretch, and it was a huge basket for the Trojans, and we've got to hand it to her too, because she is a young lady that doesn't shoot that much, but when she does, she's pretty darn good at it. For the third time was a charm for Charles Henderson's Lady Trojans on Wednesday afternoon when they knocked off Winona Dragons 57-53 in the semifinals of the Class 5A state tournament. And I say Dragons, and the headlines of the Troy Messenger this morning was slaying the Dragons, and that's what they did, and knocked them off their pedestal that they'd been on for the last 4 years. The win puts the Trojans in the state finals for the second consecutive season. I am proud, so proud, Danessa Jones said. Win, lose, or draw, I am proud of them. It took a long time. We have been trying to beat this team for a long time, and finally we did. After of course, last year it was a heartbreaker, losing in the final seconds, and this year it looked like it was going to be the same old again as Winona, after trailing the entire ball game pretty much, came back and had a 1-point lead with the basketball and 25 seconds left. But hey, the young Jones girl, Naira, intercepted a pass, and she was fouled, went to the line and made both free throws, putting them up by one. And then they stepped out of bounds on the inbound pass. So that gave, and they fouled Mari Davenport, who had a phenomenal game, scoring, I think, 25 points and had 19 rebounds and no telling how many block shots. But it came down to 2 more free throws, which those young ladies who have worked on it all year long, Davenport made both of those shots to win the basketball game. And it was a great game, great victory. I know a lot of the Troy people probably, some of them have stayed up there. I don't know if the team has stayed up there or not. I'm going to call Charles Henderson in just a few moments and find out more about what's going on. But again, it doesn't mention, well, of course, Tanyana Siler also had a big game. She had 12 points, knocking down 6 out of her 13 shots. And of course, Davenport, as we mentioned, had a triple-double, and that's quite she did the same thing last year and was so successful. But again, it was a huge win for Charles Henderson High School, and our congratulations goes out to Danessa Jones. It's been a long time coming for her. She has coached 20 years, but now this is the semifinals. The finals are on Saturday, so hopefully we'll be able to get in touch with some of these coaches or some of these players and find out more about who they play and when they play. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back.
Did you know at Wiley Sanders Truck Line that we offer Blue Cross Blue Shield, we offer dental, we offer disability, we offer vision, we offer life insurance, cancer insurance. We also have a 401k where we match up to 4%, dollar per dollar up to 4%. We also have automatic trucks at Wiley Sanders Truck Line. If you go to a truck driving school, we'll reimburse you. And don't forget about the $1,000 sign-on bonus. Money! Wiley Sanders Truck Line, Troy, Alabama. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. We help you save for your future.
Life is hectic enough without worrying if your lights will stay on or if there's hot water for your child's bath. So count on natural gas to keep the energy flowing, even when the weather is unpredictable. Natural gas is always there to keep your home warm, showers hot, and food cooked to perfection. That's why America has relied on safe and affordable natural gas for more than 150 years. And we will be here for you and future generations too. You can count on natural gas from Southeast Alabama Gas District.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation under God, indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
Here at Town & Country, we are proud to be an American.
We've had you covered on the inside since 2005, and with our addition of Southern Grill and Patio, we now have you covered on the outside. Come see our great selection, where we make sure grilling and relaxing go hand in hand.
Have you seen an increase in your insurance premiums or significant change in your insurance coverage? Let Sandbeck Insurance offer you a better plan to suit your business or personal needs. Sandbeck Insurance offers many lines of insurance, whether it's home, farm, or auto insurance, work comp, business, or health and life policies. Sandbeck is here for you. Call or visit our Troy, Enterprise, or Andalusia office today. Sandbeck Insurance, where we take pride in taking care of your insurance.
That's from Melissa.
Back to our show, ladies and gentlemen, brought to you by our good friends at SARA, the Southeast Alabama Rural Health Association, located on the Elba Enterprise Highway, and of course John Little and Melissa Bradford and all the great people that represent that outstanding health facility. And of course, remember, you can see a doctor without an appointment at SARA from 8 o'clock in the morning to 8 o'clock at night, 5 days a week. And then from 8 to 5 on Saturday and from 1 to 5 on Sunday, you can see a doctor without an appointment at SARA. We've got new restaurants, Mike, opening up. The Chicken Fingers opened up this week, and it's located right next to Publix. And we've got another.
It's kind of crazy to put a chicken finger place next to Publix, because Publix has got really good chicken fingers.
Well, that's right. And another thing, how about this? A Cookout, a new chain coming to Troy, located right next to Wendy's, Mike.
So it's gonna be like a burger place.
Yeah, oh yeah. And then also, I hear that a new restaurant is coming downtown Troy. What I've heard.
Wow, that sounds good.
And then, of course, the bakery that's been downtown before, you know, has a French name. I'm not going to try to call it out, but they're now coming back in business just a couple of doors down from Birds. And then, of course, over across from us, I'm going to tell you, if you haven't tried Sips' donuts, they bake them every day, and they are wonderful, and their cinnamon rolls are wonderful. Boy, I tell you, I was in Troy. I mean, I was at the drugstore. You know, Bird stays up open till 6 o'clock. And the beauty of downtown, especially right there at nightfall and those lights come on, it is really beautiful downtown Troy.
So as far as the Cookout, when is that supposed to be open?
Well, it'll be open soon once they complete their construction. They're building it. Of course, it's a good-looking building, and you know, I think this chain comes out of North Carolina. We're the third Cookout in Alabama, and we're glad they picked us. It's really going to be a very nice restaurant.
Well, ECU grad transfer Gardner Minshew commits to Alabama, so that means Alabama gets a quarterback that transfers in from East Carolina, so it makes you think that Jalen Hurts will probably make a decision to transfer after the spring if he's not going to be the starting quarterback. So why would this guy, who was the starting quarterback at East Carolina, come to Alabama?
Yeah.
To play 1 year.
Let me tell you this: the first
very strange situation there.
I tell you something else too. He signed first with Troy.
Yeah, I know. We talked about that the other day, but
they say that he's trying to get a hardship and be closer to his family. He's got some sickness in his family, and he's trying to get a hardship. But Mike, if Hurt was going to leave, you would think he would leave now and be a part of a team spring practice.
Well, I think he wants to see how it's going to play out at Alabama. You know, how do you leave a program where you're 26-2 as a starter?
Yeah, no question about it.
I think he's going to have a hard time letting go of that. But you know, he's got his coach's son and experienced player. I mean, he's a guy that doesn't need a spring training anywhere.
Well, yeah, you're right. And
he can go in anywhere he goes. He's going to have to sit out a year anyway, so it doesn't make a difference.
And after next year, I'll probably go pro, don't you think?
No, he's not good enough to go pro as a quarterback.
Well, he's not going to go as a quarterback. He'll be a wide receiver, running back.
He wants to play quarterback. If he transfers, that means he wants to play quarterback. If he wants to play another position, he'll stay at Alabama.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, they need him. I think Alabama's going to need some running backs, aren't they?
No, they got Damian Harris. He came back.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, Najee Harris is back. He's the one that was in, at the very end of the national championship game. He's the 5-star out of California. And then you got Brian Robinson, who was a 4-star out of Hillcrest, Tuscaloosa. And then you got Josh Jacobs back. I mean, Alabama's running backs are loaded.
All right, let me tell you how they got Minshew. He's on that graduate transfer deal. He can just play 1 year.
He already graduated college, that's right.
All right, he finished a 2 years at East Carolina with more than 100 yards passing, and was 24 and 11 on the touchdown and interception ratio. He graduated in December and retains 1 season of eligibility. He visited Alabama last week and also drew interest from Tennessee. But Minshew chose the Crimson Tide, a team entering the spring with one of the most compelling quarterback quantrays of the Nick Saban era. 28-game starter Jalen Hurts will duel with sophomore, how do you pronounce this guy's name?
Tua Tagovailoa.
Oh, you're the only person I know that can pronounce it, who relieved Hurts in the second half of the Alabama game over Georgia.
Everybody thinks Hurts, has lost his job to Tua. I don't think that's any question. I think Tua's going to be your starter, but, what they decide to do with Hurts, if they play him some at quarterback, if they play him at receiver, do you try to make him like a Randall Cobb? Do you try to make him like a, Braxton Miller at Ohio State? He's playing wide receiver in the pros. Terrell Pryor from Ohio State's playing wide receiver in the pros. The greatest player of them all is the guy that played at Pittsburgh that used to play quarterback at Georgia. Drawing blank on his name right now. But he ended up being a Hall of Fame receiver in the pros.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. Very strange though for this guy to transfer. You're basically just going not to play.
Yeah. I know, you're right. He could have gone some places and walked right in, couldn't he?
Yeah.
He could have walked right in at Tennessee, I would think, wouldn't you think?
I think he would have a lot better shot, yeah. There's no doubt about it. The only thing you think is that Mac Jones, the third-string quarterback, is going to transfer too. So maybe they're thinking 2 guys.
Where's Matt Jones going?
I don't know. But I'm just saying that's the only reason I would think this guy would go there.
Yeah.
Is he thinks he'll be number 2 when it's all said and done.
And I'm not saying that Troy doesn't have 2 good young quarterbacks coming in, but as Minshew probably could come in and help Troy.
Well, he's going to Alabama, so it doesn't matter now.
I know. Well, hey, has he signed? Has he already enrolled?
It's a done deal.
And he's already enrolled?
Yeah.
Mike, Charles Henderson beat Winona, All-Maury Devin.
It's hard to beat Goliath. Boy, I tell you what, when I saw that score, I was just like, have they choked it up again?
Hey, listen, it looked like the same scenario. They took the lead with about 25 seconds left. Winona,
I
Birmingham.
hate to say choked with a bunch of little high school girls, but golly, that would have been one of the most devastating losses.
It would have, but it was very. But you know what, though, and we've talked about this, and people laughed at me when I said that the Jones girl might be the best free throw shooter in Troy, even better than some of those college guys. But she, with 25 seconds left, Winona's got the ball, Mike, leading by 1. All they need to do is get it in bounds, and probably gonna get fouled. But Jones, the coach's daughter, intercepted the pass and was fouled, and she hit both free throws with 25 seconds left. Then when Winona tried to get the ball back in, Charles Henderson pressed them. And when he tried to get the ball back in, the Winona girl stepped out of bounds. And they gave Troy the ball, and they get the ball into Davenport, and she makes both free throws, and they win by 4.
Yeah, I mean, congratulations to Coach Jones and those players. I mean, to lose like they did last year in the championship game, and now they got one more hurdle to get over. Who won the Central Tuscaloosa? Scottsboro?
All right, they're going to play Central of Tuscaloosa. Central beat Scottsboro 56-49. They've got a kid named White that had 23 points and 12 rebounds, so they've got a real dominant player too. They were 27-7.
I met a lot of coaches out there. Wagner's team where I works out of Tuscaloosa, and we sell. They're in all Wagner school with us, so they buy everything from Wagner's. And I know a lot of those coaches, and I know there's a lot of great athletes from Central, so that's going to be a great matchup for Charles Henderson.
Yeah, it's going to be a great game. I tell you.
Hey, it's not over yet. You remember Mississippi State beat UConn, and they thought they were the national champions. And
yeah, that's right.
South Carolina women beat them and won the national championship. So now they got to win the big one.
No question about it. And of course, can you believe this? 9 o'clock Saturday morning.
Awful. Absolutely awful.
Isn't that crazy? Somebody.
It is. Bless their hearts.
The guy in charge was born and raised right down here in Brundage, Mike.
Oh, Ingram.
Yeah. But of course he can't. I don't reckon he can do anything about it. But why on earth would a bunch of kids playing for a championship going to have to play at 9 o'clock in the morning, Saturday morning?
Well, I'm sure they practice early, and it's one of those type things. I guess that's just the way it's going to fall for them, unfortunately. Yeah. I guess they'll have 1A, 2A, 3A on Friday, and then they'll probably have 4A, 5A, 6A, maybe 7A on Saturday. I don't know how that works.
Yeah, I'm going to look at it. Here's where it's going to work.
I'll say this, though. To be down by 1 and win by 4 with 25 seconds left is pretty incredible.
Yeah, you're right.
Did you ever get to see it on TV? Did you ever?
No, it wasn't on Bounce yesterday, but it will be on Saturday. It will definitely be on Saturday.
No telling how many people in Troy want to watch that game.
Yeah, here's a little rundown of it. Listen to this. Most all of these games from 5A on will be played on Saturday. Charles Henderson and Central of Tuscaloosa will play at 9 o'clock Saturday morning. Let's see, the winner of the Eufaula beat Winona last night, 79-73. The boys from Eufaula, who beat Charles Henderson.
I thought Winona beat Eufaula.
Well, no, right here it shows that Eufaula beat Winona 79-73, and early in the year, Winona beat Eufaula by 25 points.
Wow.
All right, Sylacauga and Talladega. Sylacauga beat Talladega in 5A boys, so it'll be Eufaula 29-9 versus Talladega Sylacauga 30-5. They play at 10:45 on Saturday, and
I just don't know how you could have these games at 9 o'clock and then at 10:45. Wouldn't you have to give a trophy and there'd be celebration?
Well, and Hazel Green in the girls, and they were one of the only teams to beat Charles Henderson last year. Hazel Green's 34-2, plays Ramsey 24-4. I'm thinking that's right. Saturday at 12:30, That's in the girls. 7A boys, Mike, your favorite team of them all. They haven't even played yet. Today you've got McGill-Tulane playing against Sparkman. Mike, that game's played today at 10:30. And then Central of Phoenix City, 21-4 against Mountain Brook, your hometown, 32-4. And that's at 1:30 Thursday. Then they'll turn around and play for the championship at 5:45 on Saturday. It'll be all day long on Saturday. You know, if you love basketball, it'll be a great place to be this Saturday. There's going to be some great games.
Yeah, I've told a lot of my coaches. A lot of coaches have been there all week.
Yeah, and in 7A girls, McGill-Tulane, 23-8 against Sparkman, 29-5. And then you got Robert E. Lee of Montgomery, 23-9, playing Spain Park University. That's about right, isn't it? 29-6.
You know the star player is for Spain Park is Jay Barker's daughter.
Are you serious? Well, so they're twins then, or is she younger?
No, she's younger.
You know, he's got a son that walked on in Alabama. A lot of people think he might surprise some people.
Big news in Birmingham. The opening drive with Jay Barker, Al Del Greco, and Tony Curry has been taken off the air. It is no longer a radio show.
Oh man, what happened?
The roundtable with Dunaway Brown and LT that comes on in Montgomery 740 from 10 to 2. It's just such a popular show. They did away with Barker and Del Greco.
Oh boy. Now, what is Barker going to do now?
I imagine Barker doesn't care. You know, I mean, his wife Sarah Evans. You know,
his wife is Sarah Evans, the country music singer.
A country music star. I mean, you know, somebody who's made millions and millions of dollars in country music.
So you would say Jay Barker is rich?
I would say Jay Barker has nothing to worry about.
And does Jay Barker live right there in downtown Mountain Brook?
Yeah, he lives in Mountain Brook. That's right. But it's one of those things where I really enjoyed Barker and Del Greco, but they had this guy that was a disc jockey from the radio on
and messed it up.
Tony Curry, who a lot of people he rubbed the wrong way. It was never a good show, really, because of him, the way he carried on.
Well, you got Barker, who's a huge Alabama guy, played quarterback at Alabama. Del Greco,
who kicked for the Titans and the Oilers for 16, 17 years.
He played at Auburn, and so
they were good, but they had the wrong guy hosting them. They really did.
Yeah, well, they shouldn't have had the other guy in there. Now, could they get in on another network or what?
No, there's no other sports radio in Birmingham right now. That's it.
You know, Montgomery doesn't have a good talk show radio right now.
Well, I mean, you got Barry and Longshore in the morning.
Well, that's right. They do in the mornings, but in the afternoons.
Actually, the afternoon show, the midday show with Doug Amos and Charlie Trop is good.
What time does that come on?
11 to 1.
Okay, it's a night. It's a late.
It's on 107.5.
Yeah, exactly.
Now their afternoon radio is not good at all. Most people listen to Feinbaum though. He's on 107.5.
Mike, you know, ladies and gentlemen, you don't know about.
I mean, you've been doing this show for how many years? 20 something, 21?
Well, yeah, over 20 years. And then been doing local cable television since the mid 80s.
Yeah.
What was that guy named Fulkerson? Boy, was he a great coach. Fulkerson.
Yeah.
Who was his idol, Mike?
Lou Holtz.
Lou Holtz. He had everything in Old English.
What's his name? John Fulkerson? I can't remember.
Yeah, that's right. Well,
I think he averaged one win a season.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you a little bit about pro football or college football. All right. Everybody thinks that, you know, the best quarterback coming out in the draft would be Mayfield, the quarterback from Oklahoma. Listen to this, Mike.
Yeah, they think the guy from Wyoming is the best.
Well, no, now listen to this. All right, well, they said the sleepers, I reckon. The guy from Wyoming is good. But have you ever heard of a guy named Kyle Lauletta, the quarterback at Richmond?
I mean, I know he was in the Senior Bowl.
Yeah, and they said he was the best looking player. It says he has that Jimmy Garoppolo comparison.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Oh, now who does he play for? Jimmy Garoppolo. Mike, I can't pronounce all these
He was a
names.
backup for Tom Brady, but now he's making millions and millions of dollars for San Francisco.
That's right. Well, they think this guy from Richmond's going to be a lot like him. And the other guy is this Mike White from Western Kentucky, and I'm sure.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm sure Braun.
Brandon Silvers is getting a lot of looks in the Canadian League. Apparently, a lot of Canadian teams are really interested in Silvers.
Oh, well, I hope something good happens to him. But this Mike White, 6'4", 221, is also a guy that they rate way up there.
Yeah, I've seen him play. He's got a good arm.
Now, Braun must have recruited him, though, wouldn't you think?
Oh yeah. I mean, Braun had only been gone for 1 year.
And of course he was, and of course Braun was is one of the best coaches out there now. And then the other guy in the draft that they think that it might be the best running back out there is this running back from Arizona State named Kalen Ballage. Are you familiar with him?
I've seen him play before. I wouldn't say he's the best by
Well, I mean, they got him ranked way up there, though. Yeah, of course, he's a sleeper. And listen to this. How about another sleeper is a guy named Siran Neal, who is a safety from Jacksonville State.
Yeah, I've heard about him.
Of course,
apparently Troy got, I don't know if you ever mentioned, they got Jacksonville State's co-defensive coordinator as the new linebacker coach.
Yeah. And, of course, last night, Mike, it was a great baseball game from
you know what? I totally forgot who won that game.
Troy beat them 3-2 last night. And, hey, guess who knocked in the winning run, Mike?
Who did?
One of my all-time favorite linebackers won the game last night.
Joey Dennison?
Joey Dennison with a big hit. I'm going to tell you this. Troy has two top-notch players. I'm talking about top-notch players. I'm talking about maybe two of the best players in the country. In Lockridge, the center fielder, he hit a home run last night. And then the other one is their great shortstop. And he's about as good as there is around.
That Sanders guy killed the ball, too.
That's who we're talking about, Sanders. He's a shortstop.
He plays short.
And he is really great. And then you've got Joey Dennison, who is also very good, coming off of an injury. And Mike, he stood in there last night. This was in the 8th inning. I want to say the 8th inning. And Troy was down 2-1. And Sanders got on and was able to move over. And they got one run in. It looked like when Dennison, I bet they threw him 10 pitches. He did the same thing at Auburn the other night, and he fouled out about 10 pitches. Then he hit a blue darter over the second baseman's head for the winning and knocking in the winning run.
That's great.
So great win, great victory for Troy over. Let me tell you something that
that was a pretty good pitcher's duel.
Yeah, well, let me tell you about it.
Hey.
What's the coach's name at UAB? Shoops. And Shoops, did he play at Mississippi State, or where did he play?
Brian Shoup played at Mississippi State.
And then he coached at Birmingham Southern. And then he left Birmingham Southern and went to UAB and been there, 15, 20 years.
The only reason he left Birmingham Southern is they went from Division I to Division III.
Yeah. And they are, I think he's been at UAB about 20 years at least. But,
about 20, but at least 10 probably.
Well, he's been there a long time, let's say that. And let me tell you what he did last night. He pitched every pitcher on his staff, 1 inning. Now the first big guy pitched 2 innings and allowed no hits. And then for the rest of the game, he pitched a new pitcher every inning. I think he pitched 10 pitchers last night.
Yeah, that's probably the way you should do it, maybe. I mean, everybody's got to, toss in the bullpen usually anyway.
But it was looking pretty rough for a long time because they were beating us all the way up until the bottom of the 8th.
Yeah, well, that's good. That's a good bounce back. You play, lose a 1-run game to Auburn and then lose 3 straight to Florida State.
No question about it.
Come back and win at home. That's good.
When I mentioned BT&T today, a great place to bank. Yes.
I imagine after playing Florida State, that baseball looked a little bit easier to hit.
Yeah, Florida State.
Playing UAB.
Yeah, and I thought Troy played them tough though in there in that series. Troy comes back this week with a game on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday against Tennessee Tech. Tennessee Tech's got a good program, Mike.
Yeah, they already swept Tennessee Martin, so maybe they can sweep Tennessee Tech.
Mike, Frank Jr.
Basketball team's on the road tonight, aren't they?
Yeah, they're on the road tonight with their last 2 ball games, and then the tournaments start next week, the conference tournaments. I would love to go to New Orleans for that tournament. It should be a lot of fun.
What's keeping you from going?
Well, I might. Well, I got a show I got to do. One thing.
You're 70 years old. You can do whatever you want.
P.S. Falk Furniture, located in down on the bypass in Enterprise. You've known Andy Falk all your life, is that right?
Yeah, I mean, one of my good older friends growing up. Andy was, I guess, 2 or 3 years older than my class, and one of the funniest guys, fun guy to be around. He's got a great furniture store down in Enterprise, and I mean, if you want some, unique stuff, dripwood, teakwood, great furniture. I mean, Andy's got all kinds of just amazing stuff that comes from overseas, from China, Vietnam, Indonesia. Andy actually goes over there and picks out stuff that he wants and gets it sent back, basically on big ships back to Alabama, and sells a lot down to all the people down on 30A and down at the different parts of Florida, and he's got a great business.
No question about it. Now,
the best thing about it though is, I mean, if you want something unique, I mean, if you want to see something that you can't find in many places, he's going to have some.
That's right. It goes all over the world. And another thing, I believe you introduced him to his wife. Is that right?
Yeah, I did actually. Years ago, I was dating the sister, and Andy.
They were from Decatur.
Andy met the younger sister, Amanda. I guess through me while I was dating the other sister.
Yeah.
Actually, at the beach.
That's right.
Us, so it's kind of a crazy story.
But that sort of makes you a little closer to him too, doesn't it? Of course, your daddy Joe Falk's one of the top attorneys in this part of the country, and who was born and raised in downtown Sampson, Mike.
Yeah, I tell you, I've been lucky in Sampson lately. I haven't seen those cops near as much as I used to do when you gotta go.
Well, I'll tell you right now, if you
if you want to go through Sampson, go through it tomorrow. They'll be playing for the state championship in Birmingham.
Everybody be gone, won't they? Boy, they're really a good basketball team. Let's see how they came out.
They play for it all tomorrow.
Okay. I want to also mention that Georgiana, boy, what a great program they've got. They're 30-3. They play Sacred Heart today at 5:45 for the state championship. And there's no question in my mind, Georgiana.
I don't know. Sacred Heart's got one of the best players in the state, though. He's already signed with Alabama.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They beat Cornerstone out of Birmingham 76-60. Georgiana beat R.A. Hubbard 80-58.
Georgia State tonight, and that game will be at 6:15. If there's any chance that Troy will beat Georgia State or Georgia Southern, that is a tough road trip.
Oh gosh, I've got a feeling they might be
the best teams in the league.
When you don't expect Troy to win, that's when they usually win in basketball. But I want to mention, Mike, in
the first game of the season, they were down by 18 and came back and beat Georgia State.
Yeah, it's amazing. Sampson girls beat Phil Campbell 64-43 in the semifinals. They'll play Sand Rock, who beat Keith 62-45 for the championship. That is Friday morning, tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. Can you believe it? Sampson 30-3 against Sand Rock, 23-8 now. North Alabama girls against the South Alabama girls, Mike, and that makes it a pretty tough basketball game.
Yeah, it's funny. I talked to the coach, the athletic director, Coach Littleton in Sampson, and he put in a softball order real late. And I said, man, Coach, hadn't you already started? And he said, well, I'll be honest with you, we're not going to be able to start playing until March.
It must be girls softball.
Yeah, he said our girls basketball team's probably going to win the state championship, and he was right. They're playing in the state championship game, and they actually, the majority of the players on the softball, on the basketball team play softball, so they're actually, not even playing games until March now.
Want to say hello to Hoss Daddy, and he's got a car wash.
With some Subway?
What now? Yeah, well,
get the Subways ready to go?
Yeah, better get those Subways ready to go. Hoss Daddy with Sanders Trucking will buy the teams.
Well, Sanders going to come up to the high school on an 18-wheeler and throw out Subway?
Well, let's just say this: if Troy's girls win tomorrow, Saturday, they'll get free sandwiches from Subway. Compliments of Hoss Daddy at Sanders Trucking.
You're the oldest Charles Henderson story that I can think of. I would say Charles Henderson's never won a basketball title, the women's basketball.
Oh, never. They've never won a men's basketball title. They've been there before.
They came within 6 or 7 seconds to win a men's title years ago, didn't they?
Yeah, and then they
lost in Tuscaloosa.
They lost there, but a few longer than that. At one time, they had one of these Birmingham schools. They were up by 5 or 6 points with less than a minute, and they lost to one of the great Birmingham schools on an inbound pass. All they had to do was get the ball inbounds, and they couldn't get it in. They got a 5-second call and lost the ball game. It's been several years ago.
Of course, football lost the championship, a few years ago back, and then the women's, the girls, Charles Henderson girls lost last year to Winona.
Let me tell you who's got
I guess recently baseball has been king in Troy and Charles Henderson. They've won 3 state championships.
Do you know that Josie has resigned? Did you know that?
Yeah, we talked about that the other day.
Yeah, Josie has resigned, and of course they've got a young Pope kid who's in his first year is coaching their baseball team. Want to mention
you got I guess, let's see, football won in 80, and that's really it. That's really your championships.
Well, they won. They won 3 in baseball, though, haven't they?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you won 1 in football, 3 in baseball, and this would be your first in girls basketball.
Yeah. I want to mention a outstanding program. I mentioned Georgiana. Well, right down the street from Georgiana, 15 miles down the road, is Hillcrest of Evergreen. And Georgiana has been loaded in football and has been loaded in basketball for the last 3 or 4 years. Well, how about Hillcrest of Evergreen? They're 23-3, and they play Plainview. With those North Alabama teams, 33-2 at 2:15 on Friday. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, Hillcrest is going to win that basketball game at 2:15 on Friday in 3A boys.
Well, I don't know how the records work, but that's got to be one of the toughest things to do, to win it in football and win it in basketball.
Well, we talked all year long. We talked on this show for several years now that with North Alabama basketball was better than South Alabama.
Actually, a few years ago in 7A, Hoover won the state championship in football and in basketball.
Yeah.
So that has happened recently.
Well, the team they got to play, Hillcrest beat Lauderdale County, and those schools are good up there, 74-48, just mauled them. And Plainview beat American Christian, Mike, 73-55. That's going to be quite a game at 2:15 on Friday.
Yeah, American Christian's out of Tuscaloosa. That will be. I tell you what, that would be fun if you love basketball, for anybody to come out and watch Charles Henderson.
Oh, yeah, it would be. Watch them all day long, and great games. And, of course, Andalusia's boys lost out to Cordova. Now Cordova will play Madison Academy. And, Mike, it's really not fair. Don't you agree?
It's definitely not fair when these kids can.
Madison Academy, ladies and gentlemen, is in Huntsville. It's in Madison. But they can get about anybody they want, can't they?
Oh, there's no doubt.
And the great running back at Auburn, it comes from that program, and a lot of other great players.
Yeah, he's gone now, though. Kerryon Johnson went early to the draft.
Yeah. But it's going to be a lot of fun. And, of course, again, Charles Henderson beats Winona 57-53. And Central Tuscaloosa beats Scottsboro.
Call some prayers go out to Winona's Coach Bell. He's been battling lung cancer, stage 4 lung cancer for the last couple of years. Hopefully he'll beat it. You know, he was a class act yesterday and said the better team won. And I think Coach Jones's comments were more relief than anything. She had like that. She couldn't have lived with herself if they lost to him again.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this though, they pressure you all over the court, and if they don't have Naira Jones and Siler and Davenport, people that can handle the ball, they would have lost yesterday. Yeah. And Mike, and it came down to that very, very important ingredient, and what is that?
Making your free throws?
You're exactly right. You are exactly right. Charles Henderson hit 4 straight free throws with less than 25 seconds in the game, and they win it at the free throw line.
If anybody watched Alabama the other day, they were down 76-73 to Arkansas on Saturday. And Dante Hall, the kid out of Laverne, who's played a lot better this year. I'm not dogging him by any means, but you know, he's a 50% foul shooter and gets fouled. And
they knew how to foul him, didn't they?
Yeah, if you make both of them, you know, you're down by 1 and you got a chance to win the game. He goes to the line in the double bonus and misses both of them.
Yeah.
So I mean,
so it's very important.
How important free throw shooting is. I mean,
no question.
And one thing I will say about Troy's got a lot better. Coach Cunningham's team this year shooting free throws than they have in the past.
Well, it's very, very important, and you know, and I've said that about Naira Jones, the coach's daughter, ladies and gentlemen. She might be the best free throw shooter in Troy. I mean,
she's a 10th grader, and you know, I mentioned to some of these coaches about Davenport, and they said, "Well, man, the coach's daughter's an incredible player too." So,
well, and she shoots. You know, I thought she shot 90%, but she shoots 82% from the free throw line, which is really, really good.
It's gonna be interesting to see what Davenport does next year. There'll be a lot of prep schools and a lot of
you know, and as good as she is.
Schools trying to come to get her to go play somewhere her senior year, but
everybody says
hopefully she'll stay at Troy.
Yeah, everybody says she's heard from everybody but UConn. Of course, UConn might be the best. UConn might be the best program ever. You would compare it with the UCLA basketball teams. Tell me how many games UConn has won in the last 5 years. Give me their record for the last 5 years.
I mean, I don't know if I can give you the record, but I know they won 100 in a row until they got beat by Mississippi State.
All right, they had won 100 in a row before they got beat by Mississippi State last year. But prior to that, how many?
I mean, he's won like at least I think 10 national championships.
Yeah, at UConn, and but a UConn player, Mike, you know, you don't even. They play like boys. I mean, men. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I mean the majority of them play in the WNBA. You know, as soon as their career's over, that's how good they are.
Well, of course, ladies and gentlemen.
The only thing about Davenport's game, I don't know. I haven't watched her enough. Does she ever step out and shoot 3? Or
not much, and that's something I think she needs to work on. But I tell you what, she
going into next season.
Let's say this: she Davenport, ladies and gentlemen, scored 25 points, got 19 rebounds, and they stopped counting. You know, they don't use block shots as something to look at. Did you know that?
Serious?
Like you'll see rebounds and you'll see turnovers.
I thought she had 18 blocks in the championship game.
Well, she had a bunch.
I think they keep up with blocks. There's no way you would.
Well, they were talking on the radio about yesterday about not keeping up with it. So
maybe they were choosing to keep up with it.
Yeah, no question about it.
I guarantee you somebody was keeping up with it because, you know, she broke the block shot record last year in the championship game.
Yeah, I know that. I knew that. They kept up with it last year.
Man, I got little Millie waking up. Let me go.
Okay. Mike Amos calling in from Birmingham. We appreciate it very much. And we're going to take a short break brought to you by Horn Beverage right here in Troy, Alabama. We appreciate Donna and Booty and all the great folks at Horn Beverage on Highway 231 South in Troy.
Troy Cable Security Wi-Fi doorbell camera allows you to answer the door from your smartphone when you are at home, at work, or on the go. When a visitor presses the button, Troy Cable Security sends a live video feed to your smartphone so you can see, hear, and speak to the person at your door. With the doorbell camera, you can have your porch light turn on automatically when it detects motion at night to create the appearance that someone is at home. You can view video clips so you can always know who stopped by when you are out. Troy Cable Security. You love them, protect them.
Here's some Napa know-how for you. Your local Napa Auto Parts store in Troy is under new ownership with an all-new fully stocked store. Big deal, you say? Big deal, we say. Like the ownership, the store has a new look, too. We're still delivering the same Napa quality and know-how, but we've increased our inventory and are committed to helping you find the parts you need when you need them. So come check us out. We've got the right part at the right price at the right time.
Know-how, Napa know-how.
The new Smokehouse Pizza from Little Caesars is our first pizza with 3 smoked meats, so we got barbecue champion Big Mo Queson to test it out. 8-hour smoked brisket.
Certified beefified.
10-hour smoked pulled pork.
Certified hoggified.
Applewood smoked bacon.
Certified baconfied.
Drizzled with tangy barbecue sauce plus a Smokehouse seasoned crust.
Certified smokified.
The new Smokehouse Pizza. Only $9 and only at Little Caesars.
Pizza. If you've had an accident or just want a new look for your vehicle, come see us at Troy Paint and Body, where we do it right the first time. Our staff has more than 100 years combined experience and can handle repairs and paint work on any make or model. We also offer a lifetime guarantee as long as you own your vehicle. Now that shows we stand behind our work. And our 24-hour towing service means we're here when you need us. So come see us at Troy Paint and Body, located on South Brundage Street in Troy beside the post office. Troy Paint and Body, where we may meet by accident, but you'll be glad we did.
Back to our show, brought to you by Alabama Real Estate Connection, located on South Brundage Street in Troy, and appreciate all those folks there. Carol Amos today at 672-0100, 672-0100. We were looking for a way to contact Vanessa Jones, the head basketball coach at Charles Simpson High School, and we were hopefully we'll get a call from her before our show's over with today. Of course, our show's brought to you by Dixieland Dental, located 9 miles north of Dothan on Highway 231. Dr. Michael Precise, Dr. John Strength, Dr. Damon Strength, and Dr. Robert Precise make up one of the largest dental clinics in Alabama. Of course, a lot of coaching changes in high school coaching. Elba has a new head coach, and who is a good friend of mine, Pate Harrison. Let's see if we can catch Pate this morning on our show, ladies and gentlemen. Pate, of course, has taken over the head coaching job at Elba High School, and I was hoping maybe we can catch him this morning and talk to him a little bit about it. Of course, Ed Rigby has left Elba and has gone to, you follow? Pate, Mike Amos, how you doing?
Getting ready for physicals, Mike. How are you?
Doing real good. And have you switched over yet, or are you still at Dale County High School?
I'm at Elba today. This is my 3rd day here.
3rd day at Elba High School, and Pate Harrison, one of my good friends and fraternity brothers, isn't that right?
Yes, sir.
Tell us about the move, Pate, and I know the people in Elba are excited.
Yeah. Well, it's been a whirlwind. Friday was my last day at Dale County, and we've been here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm still trying to figure out where the light switches are.
Well, you know this, that you and I have been close friends a long time, and I have a Elba Coaches show every Wednesday, and I hope you'll keep that up.
Yes, sir.
On our cable TV, and of course we have Goshen, we have Pike Liberal Arts, we have Elba, we have Charles Henson. Those 4 schools four coaches meet every Wednesday during football season here.
Yes, sir.
It'll be fun. Of course, now, I'll tell you this right off the bat. It could not have been an easy decision to make.
No, sir.
Tell us, of course, you've had some great teams at Dale County, and you were starting your, what, 5th or 6th year?
7th.
7th year.
7th year.
What enticed you about Elba?
Well, Mr. Mosley, the superintendent, was the guy who hired me at Dale County.
All right, now I know the rest of the story, don't I?
Yes, sir. He kind of hired me there, so he kind of knew what he was getting when he called me. So we discussed what was, the options here, and I live in New Brockton, so I was 6 miles away from the school.
That has a lot to do with it.
Yes, sir.
You can go home for lunch if you can get away.
Yes, sir.
Well, that is something. And New Brockton, right up the hill. And how will it be? Now, did you play New Brockton when you were at Dale County?
No, sir.
Boy, that's going to be. Now you will be playing them at Elba, though, won't you?
Well, not in football.
Oh, really?
For the next 2 years, we'll probably play them in basketball and baseball, but
yeah,
we won't see them in football for the next 2 years.
Well, Elba to have dropped to 1A, that surprises you as much as it surprises everybody else, doesn't it?
Yes, sir. I mean, you look at the size of the school and the classrooms. You definitely don't think it's a 1A, but I don't expect them to stay 1A after the next reclassification. Yeah. But
of course, it's a beautiful school. Elba High School is a beautiful school. Tiger Stadium is a beautiful place to play football. The thing about Elba is they love it with a passion. Football is a way of life. Isn't that right?
It's a religion here. I mean, they definitely, that's one of the things that enticed me to come here. This is a place where they want to win football games, and so we're on the same page when it comes to that.
Did y'all play them when you were at Dale County?
We played them every year in a spring game for about 3 years running. Me and Coach Rigby pretty close.
So I knew y'all were good friends, and I'm sure when you when you talked to Coach Rigby, and I'm sure you probably did. He wasn't unhappy at Elba. He just had a great opportunity to go to Eufaula, didn't he?
Yes, it was a great opportunity for him, and he took it. So we just kind of, like I told him, we ain't trying to rebuild a program. We're just trying to put a new spin on it and keep it going.
Yeah, a lot of people around here know you as an assistant coach at Elba at Goshen for a long time, and you have very good friends there, don't you?
Well, that's where I met Ed. Me and Ed worked together for a short period of time there at Goshen. So he was the offensive coordinator, and I was defensive coordinator there for a spring under Bart.
Now, will y'all play Goshen, or are they in different classification?
They're in different classification as well.
Okay. Now, who will Elba's new area teams be?
Brantley, 747. Brantley, McKenzie, Georgiana, Florella, Red Level, Kinston, Pleasant Home. I'm missing somebody else.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, there's one of those teams in there that is a pretty tough one, and that's Georgiana. Boy, they got quite a program over there now, don't they?
Yes, sir. And Brantley's no slouch. They know how to play football there as well.
Oh yeah, I know they do. No question about it. And Will, are you happy?
It's been great. I mean, it's great for my family. I got both my kids over here. They're not riding an hour to school every day.
Oh yeah, that makes a lot of difference.
They're more excited about it than I have, which makes me happy. So the kids are here with me every day. It's been different. I don't have my staff with me. We're still, and Rodney's, his last day was.
All right, now where's Rodney going?
He's going with Ed to Eufaula.
Now he's a good football coach too. You've known him quite a while, haven't you?
Yeah, we played together at Troy, so we've been friends for a long time. Yeah. But I got Coach McGill still here, who does the basketball.
Oh yeah, he is a good one too. Now, who are some other staff members? How about were you able to keep much of your staff?
Well, most everybody's still here. It's been such a difference, and you know, we hadn't actually sat down and even talked any football. We just right now trying to get where I'm supposed to be and my class schedule and everything else. So
Is Johnny Dice, is he still there?
Johnny Dye's still here. He's standing in the gym.
Okay, well, he's a good one, too. Well, I tell you what, we're going to be calling you on and off. You know that, don't you?
Yes, sir.
And we look forward to who's going to get the Dale County job.
I don't know. I know one of my assistant coaches applied, and I know a lot of guys. I mean, the applications had tripled since when I took it over.
Yeah.
So they got a lot of coaches to look at. They got a good group of kids coming back. So whoever they get will have a good opportunity to be successful.
Coach, one quick question. And of course, they've been 3 years ago that you coached the great running back that went on to play at Memphis, and now he's at Troy. What's his name?
Jamarius Henderson.
Jamarius Henderson, and of course, he's still at Troy, isn't he?
Yes, sir.
Now, he's got a chance. Of course, he's the most prolific running back, ladies and gentlemen, to ever play in high school football in Alabama. He rushed for over 3,600 yards his senior year, and he played for this guy we got on the line, Peyton Harrison. And Peyton, do you like to run the football, or do you like to be throw it, or do you like to be what they call run and pass?
Multiple. I like to do whatever our kids are best at. If we have to throw it, we'll throw it. But
Now you got your quarterback coming back who can fly.
Yes, Richmond.
Yeah, and Singletary, is that his name?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, listen, it's great to hear from you, and again, congratulations on being the next head football coach at Elba. And go Tigers, and I'll be down there to interview you, man. You know that, don't you?
Yeah,
we are Elba. We are Elba.
Yes, we are.
Take care, Pate. Thank you for talking. Pate Harrison, and excuse me for being so hoarse, but Pate's a fine young coach, and you Elba folks, well, he's not so young anymore, but he's a very good football coach, and Elba will not miss a beat, I promise you, this football season. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back.
Troy Cable Security Wi-Fi doorbell camera allows you to answer the door from your smartphone when you are at home, at work, or on the go. When a visitor presses the button, Troy Cable Security sends a live video feed to your smartphone so you can see, hear, and speak to the person at your door. With the doorbell camera, you can have your porch light turn on automatically when it detects motion at night to create the appearance that someone is at home. You can view video clips so you can always know who stopped by when you are out. Troy Cable Security. You love them, protect them.
Here's some Napa know-how for you. Your local Napa Auto Parts store in Troy is under new ownership with an all-new fully stocked store. Big deal, you say? Big deal, we say. Like the ownership, the store has a new look, too. We're still delivering the same Napa quality and know-how, but we've increased our inventory and are committed to helping you find the parts you need when you need them. So come check us out. We've got the right part at the right price at the right time.
Know-how, Napa know-how.
The new Smokehouse Pizza from Little Caesars is our first pizza with 3 smoked meats. So we got barbecue champion Big Mo Quezon to test it out. 8-hour smoked brisket.
Certified beefified.
10-hour smoked pulled pork.
Certified hoggified.
Applewood smoked bacon.
Certified baconfied.
Drizzled with tangy barbecue sauce plus a Smokehouse seasoned crust.
Certified smokified.
The new Smokehouse Pizza. Only $9 and only at Little Caesars.
If you've had an accident or just want a new look for your vehicle, come see us at Troy Paint and Body, where we do it right the first time. Our staff has more than 100 years combined experience and can handle repairs and paint work on any make or model. We also offer a lifetime guarantee as long as you own your vehicle. Now that shows we stand behind our work. And our 24-hour towing service means we're here when you need us. So come see us at Troy Paint and Body, located on South Brundage Street in Troy beside the post office. Troy Paint and Body, where we may meet by accident, but you'll be glad we did.
Back to our show, brought to you by Ideal Graphics, located on in a new location, ladies and gentlemen, right behind the Dodge Chrysler and Jeep dealership right here in Troy, and of course in a new facility, and of course they do wonderful work. All types of graphics. They do all types of printing, and I've done business with them a long time, and they're wonderful people. Tony and Laurie, and dropped by and see them today. I want to mention also All-Star Collision, located right next to Pike County Ford on the bypass here in Troy, and I tell you, they do a great job of making your car or truck look good again after a collision or a fender bender or whatever it is. They can do the job for you and do it quickly and very professionally at All-Star Collision Center right here in Troy. I want to mention also, we were talking about Goshen football, and of course with Pate Harrison coming, I was going through some things while we were on break, and we talk about University of Connecticut women's program. They lost just one game in the last 129. How about that? And they're the number one college team in the country right now at 29-0. But they're followed by the team that beat them last year, and that's Mississippi State. They're 30-0. Baylor is 28-1 in third position. Louisville's 29-2. Notre Dame is 27-2, followed by Oregon 27-4, Texas 24-5, South Carolina 23-6, UCLA 23-6, and it goes on down. But those are some pretty good girls women's basketball teams that are heading down the stretch, getting ready for the playoffs. Of course, the college basketball standings in the SEC, and they start their tournament next week in St. Louis. Auburn is 12-5. Tennessee's 12-5 in conference play. Auburn's 24-6 in all games played, and Tennessee 22-7. But looking at the women's brackets, Tennessee and Auburn will probably draw a bye in the tournament. So that means Arkansas and Florida, Kentucky and Mississippi State, then Missouri and Alabama, Texas A&M and South Carolina, Georgia and LSU, and Ole Miss and Vanderbilt. All of those will be playing in the first round of the SEC tournament next week. And of course, in the women's brackets in the SEC, by far the team to beat is Mississippi State, 16-0 in conference play, 30-0 overall. Georgia is 12-4 and 24-5. South Carolina is 12-4 and 23-6. So Alabama is in conference play 7-9 and 17-12 overall. Auburn 5-11 in conference play and 14-14 overall. Of course, we were talking yesterday, excuse me, about Troy and their new basketball schedule, and I was talking to some folks yesterday at lunch, and they agreed with me that this is as big a time that it maybe has ever been in college, Troy's college football. Ever since they moved from Division II to Division I AA, now of course Division 1A in all sports. What a potential we've got here if Troy has another good year. Now, of course, Troy's lost a lot of good players off the team that went 11-1 last year, but actually 11-2. Excuse my language about that. But they were 10-2 2 years ago, 11-2 last year, and now they've got two young quarterbacks that will be competing against each other this spring. and I want you to be able to mark this down on your calendar. April the 21st is T-Day at Troy, and that will be a big day for Coach Brown and his staff as they get ready for the 2018 football season. But I wanted to touch base a little bit on what we talked about yesterday. And every morning I'm sitting here with a Troy paper, a Dothan paper, and a Montgomery paper to get a lot of my information from. Well, a great picture here at the very end of the game yesterday. They get the inbound pass into Mario Davenport, and that's how she's holding on the ball, and Winona has to foul them to get the ball back, and all she did was walk to the line, make both free throws, and the rest is history. Sean Sanderson plays for the title this Saturday morning at 9 o'clock against Central High of Tuscaloosa. So that would be something. And Eufaula pulled off maybe the biggest win of the entire tournament. They beat Winona's boys 79-73, and they've got a kid, Nelson kid, for Eufaula that's really, really good. But that was a huge win for Eufaula. Now they'll face Sylacauga 30-5 for the state championship. This goes to show you a little bit that it doesn't matter when it gets to tournament time. During the regular season in a tournament, Eufaula lost to Winona by 25 points, and now they come back and win the game with the win. Of course, Eufaula hit 7 out of 8 free throws down the stretch to help secure that win. Free throws, free throws, free throws, and believe you me, ladies and gentlemen, you got to make them to win, especially in tournament play. We talked about Troy's baseball win last night over UAB, and their record goes now to 5-4. The 4 losses, though, came to top 25 teams, Auburn and Florida State. A late inning spurt and a solid performances on the mound, and I will tell you, I'm going to get to that in a minute. Trailing by 1 in the bottom of the 7th, Matt Sanders legged out a triple, and it's one of the great efforts I've seen. He hit the ball down the left field line, and you folks that know Real Pace Field, he went in the corner and he made a triple out of it. Usually it's a stand-up double, but Sanders makes it a triple, and that gets him on third base with no outs. And they get two guys out, and it brings up Dennison, for the Troy kid, Joey Dennison, who's playing his senior year at Troy, and he drills one for a double to knock in Sanders for the tying run. The eventual game-winning run came across plate when Cole Prestegard brought Dennison home on an RBI single. Prestegard led the Trojan Bats going 2 for 3. Troy's Brandon Lothridge, who is just really, Lothridge is really an outstanding player, had a home run in the 3rd inning. C.J. Carter, and this is the name I want you to hear, came in and pitched brilliantly in relief. Russ Hickson, the youngster from Banks, who went to Pike Liberal Arts, I call him from Troy, he went 5 solid innings for Troy and allowed only 2 runs against a very good UAB team. And the win goes to C.J. Carter, who's now 2-0, and he really came in and looked good as a closer for Troy. If this guy can come in and be the kind of closer a lot of people think he's going to be. Troy's going to be in every game they play. And I think I saw him pitch against Auburn earlier in the year, and he pitched 5 innings as a starter. But I think what they got to do with this kid is use him as a closer because he is a good one, and we're excited about him. Alabama beat Alabama State 11-1 yesterday, and one of the guys that everybody's talking about at Alabama is another young man from Pike Liberal Arts School named Chandler Avant. Avant has been in Alabama for 4 years. This is his senior year, and he had 2 hits yesterday and scored 2 runs. So Avant is off to a very good start. Alabama will hit the road this weekend for a 3-game series in Norman, Oklahoma, against the Oklahoma Sooners. Friday's opener is scheduled at 6:30. So Alabama and Oklahoma going at it. But again, a big win for Troy, and Matt Sanders, who legged out that triple, was driven in by Dennison. Sanders is in the midst of a career-long 17-game hitting streak, and the RBI was Dennison's team-leading 9. So Joey Dennison has already knocked in 9 runs for the Trojans. And with Lockridge, Sanders, Dennison, and this kid Prestegard, Troy's got 4 solid players right there that are really playing well for him right now. So, of course, there are other kids that are doing good, but those 4 sort of stand out to me a little bit on how well they're playing. Want to mention a few other things as we get ready for a big weekend. Tennessee Tech comes to town this weekend at Riddle Pace Field. Last night, a huge group of folks were in left field, but hey, bring your kids, and boy, what a great series this is with a good team, Tennessee Tech, and from Cookeville, Tennessee, and it has a good baseball program every year, so we'll be looking forward to that this weekend. Of course, Troy basketball ends their regular season this weekend with a game at at Georgia Southern and at Georgia State. So those are 2 big games. You want to go to Atlanta, have a good time, go watch some basketball. You could enjoy it with that Georgia State game. And then, of course, just right down the road is Georgia Southern. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back with more of Today in L.A.
Have you seen an increase in your insurance premiums or significant change in your insurance coverage? Let Sandbeck Insurance offer you a better plan to suit your business or personal needs. Sandbeck Insurance offers many lines of insurance, whether it's home, farm, or auto insurance, work comp, business, or health and life policies. Sandbeck is here for you. Call or visit our Troy, Enterprise, or Andalusia office today. Sandbeck Insurance, where we take pride in taking care of your insurance.
Troy Cable Security Wi-Fi doorbell camera allows you to answer the door from your smartphone when you are at home, at work, or on the go. When a visitor presses the button, Troy Cable Security sends a live video feed to your smartphone so you can see, hear, and speak to the person at your door. With the doorbell camera, you can have your porch light turn on automatically when it detects motion at night to create the appearance that someone is at home. You can view video clips so you can always know who stopped by when you are out. Troy Cable Security. You love them, protect them.
Here's some Napa know-how for you. Your local Napa Auto Parts store in Troy is under new ownership with an all-new fully stocked store. Big deal, you say? Big deal, we say. Like the ownership, the store has a new look, too. We're still delivering the same Napa quality and know-how, but we've increased our inventory and are committed to helping you find the parts you need when you need them. So come check us out. We've got the right part at the right price at the right time.
Know-how, Napa know-how.
Did you know at Wiley Sanders Truck Line that we offer Blue Cross Blue Shield, we offer dental, we offer disability, we offer vision, we offer life insurance, cancer insurance. We also have a 401k where we match up to 4%, dollar per dollar up to 4%. We also have automatic trucks at Wiley Sanders Truck Line. If you go to a truck driving school, we'll reimburse you. And don't forget about the $1,000 sign-on bonus. Money! Wiley Sanders Truck Line, Troy, Alabama. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. We help you save for your future.
Back to our show, brought to you by Wise Office Supply on South Brunny Street, right here in Troy. And of course, when it comes to office supplies, school supplies, business supplies, office furniture galore, ladies and gentlemen, Wise Office Supply is the place to go. And of course, Lane and Lyle, two very good friends of mine, and they do a great job. Remember, there's no hidden charges when you do business with Wise Office Supply. Want to mention also Quality Roofing. Jeff does it. He is the roofing All-American as far as I'm concerned. And, of course, he's located in downtown Goshen, that beautiful home there. And you can call him right there on your screen. Hook's Barbecue. My son Mike is a barbecue guy. He's a connoisseur of good barbecue. He tells me point blank the best ribs out there are at Hook's in Troy. Hook's in Troy for the best barbecue ribs ever. And I sat down and had a wonderful bowl of camp stew that I got from Hook's the other day. Jeremy Perez, ladies and gentlemen, the owner of Pike County Ford, invites you to come in with any price you've got on a Ford car or truck, and if he can't beat it, he'll give you $5,000. Jeremy is a great guy, ladies and gentlemen, and all he does, he expects you to come in and show him where you can beat his deal anywhere. And if you could prove that, you'll walk away with $5,000. Because remember, if Pike County Ford can't beat your deal, they'll give you $5,000. Bearfields of Ozark, the best men's clothing store in Alabama, located in downtown Ozark, with Easter just around the corner. Harp Shaflin Mark, Hickey Freeman, some of the great names in men's clothing at Bearfields in downtown Ozark, and they give out. And of course, I want to mention our good friends at BT&T, located on the bypass right here in Troy at the Marketplace Shopping Center. And ladies and gentlemen, their commercial rates, their homeowners, their automobile, and their business rates are about as good as you're going to find anywhere at BB&T, located at the Marketplace Shopping Center right here in Troy, and that is a big bank. Marco's Pizza, hey, I love their hard crust. Their thin crust pizza with everything on it except anchovies is the best pizza in town. It's at Marco's, and we appreciate them so very much. And Hoss Daddy, ladies and gentlemen, at Trojan Detail, and his folks can make your vehicle look like new from Hoss Daddies, and we appreciate them very much being part of our show. The Messenger, don't live in Troy without it. And we showed you some of the great things about the Messenger that you can see every day. I promise you, if you don't take the Messenger, you're going to miss out on what's going on in our community. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a lot going on in our neck of the woods, and one of those things is a new industry coming to Troy and Pike County, just down the road off Highway 231. Ladies and gentlemen, Rex Lumber. Rex Lumber is coming to Pike County, Alabama, and is bringing with it a guaranteed investment of over $100 million. Now that's a pretty good industry, and will provide at least 110 jobs, good paying jobs, to Troy and Pike County. The county commissioner reconvened Wednesday to approve entry into a project agreement with the company offering $750,000 in incentives, including a purchase of 214 acres of property and reimbursement for the site preparation. And I'm sure they'll have some other things that will go with that. It was a no-brainer, said Roger Sullivan, Commissioner Chairman. The first thing that stuck in my mind was an immediate impact, and of the amount they're willing to spend to build this place. When someone says he wants to invest $110 million in your community, hey, you get excited. And ladies and gentlemen, plenty of reason to be excited. The commission began recruiting the company just a few months ago, Sullivan said, under the code name the Red Fox Project. Sullivan said quick turnaround is due to the company's desire to come in and get started. So wonderful new industry coming that's going to spend, ladies and gentlemen, again, let me make this clear, over $100 million they plan on spending in the local, putting into the local economy. So if you own timberland or hardwood property, you've got a good shot at being able to get good prices when this new industry gets underway. I was asking someone recently about this company, and what makes it so unique is that, of course, it's local, and they buy local timber, which is very good, but also they are very efficient. They use the state-of-the-art equipment. And now, I go to Graceville, Florida a lot to eat shrimp. Yes, Graceville, Florida to eat shrimp. And what I'm doing, I go through Graceville on my way to the beach. It's a little bit out of the way, but to eat at the Circle Grill right there in downtown Graceville is worth it. Well, many times I've eaten at that restaurant, I hear this loud noise outside, and it's this sawmill, which is very similar to the same sawmill we're going to get here in Pike County. Now, they're putting this facility out in the country, so I don't think you'll have a noise problem at all. But it is a fabulous, unbelievable way they do things. And they when they cut your timber, they use most every piece of that tree that they cut down. And of course, it is a wonderful, wonderful investment in Pike County, and we're excited. Also, I want to mention one thing before we leave today. Headlines in the paper: the city of Troy hosted Tuskegee Army Airfield hangar historical marker unveiling a ceremony Wednesday afternoon at the Troy Airport. The marker honors the Tuskegee Airmen, who were the first black military aviators in the United States Army Air Corps, a precursor of the United States Air Force. The hangar was originally a part of the Tuskegee Army Airfield in Tuskegee, where the Tuskegee Airmen trained. Major General Walter Gravan, Troy University Senior Vice Chancellor, said the Tuskegee Airmen flew more than 15,000 missions during World War II, and their impressive performance earned them more than 150 distinguished flying crosses. The distinguished performance of the Tuskegee Airmen paved the way for the integration of the University of United States Air Force. The Tuskegee Airmen were African-American men who aspired to become pilots, but had to overcome many obstacles, including racism at the time. Racial segregation remained the rule in the United States Army Air Forces. Facing seemingly impossible odds, the Tuskegee Airmen were determined to utilize their dreams to become aviators. And this marker is just one way to remember these outstanding Americans that fought for our country in World War II. Hope you've enjoyed our show today, and we look forward to seeing you bright and early in the morning, starting at 7 o'clock, right here on Troy Cable Channel 2. Have a good day.